Yes.
But like, tell me what you think, because he mentioned one time that you think they live amongst us, maybe.
Oh, what do you mean? Maybe. Of course they do. Where do you think they live? I think that there are probably about 6 to 8 different alien races that live on this earth. Most of them like subterranean.
Okay. And they're just like collecting data on us, or what's your theory? Are they from different planets? Are they from the future? Is this a simulation?
Hit us with it. We gotta know.
It's a tough thing. I mean, it's a tough thing. I think that they were here. I think that we're a product of kind of their tinkering. And I think they are scientists first before like astronauts and stuff. So maybe genetically, in a weird way, they're kind of manufacturing us for some big purpose in the future. I don't know. I think that only because of stuff that's happened to me do I think this. I don't just read a book and think this. I actually kind of like had certain things happening in my life that make me think, dude, that's not normal, you know, to have loss of time, or to be like having dreams that don't seem like dreams, or to be in and out of a consciousness in a lot of weird ways. And then seeing a lot of things and having a lot of weird things happen. And then you investigate, oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder if anyone else has had that experience. So then when you read about it, you're like, oh, that actually did happen to me too. And it happened to this guy. So there's such similarities in an incident. You'll have like loss of time. Like when I was in Culver City, I was sleeping. I was minding my own business. I had just gotten the job in 1993, and I was trying to sleep before a work day. And I went to sleep, and I saw the clock, and it was like, 9:40 something, 9:45. So I was like, oh, I'll get some good sleep. It's a pretty good amount of time I can get. So as soon as I was asleep, I saw outside my window these beings floating. And I remember thinking, that's impossible, because the garage to the underground parking is there. There's nowhere for them to stand. Why are they outside my window? And then they flew through my window, through my fish tank like a ghost would, and then became solid in my room. And they were like gray aliens, like 3 or 4 of them, all different sized. Some were a little smaller, some were a little taller. And I was like, God damn, how did they do that? How did they float through that? I was like impressed with it almost. I was like, that's pretty cool how they did that. And I'm thinking this whole time this is a dream. So I'm kind of going along with it. So they take me out of my bed and put me in this room, is the next thing I know. And it's kind of like a circular room where I can see the roundness of the walls. And the furniture was kind of a trip because it was like embedded in the actual place. Like it was a part of it, like a mold would be, like where you would sit. And they sat me down, and they brought like these little babies over to me in diapers. And I remember thinking, this is so freaking weird. And there were other humans sitting, waiting for the same thing as I was doing, like waiting to be introduced to these babies, these toddlers. And I remember thinking there was a diaper on this one, and he was kind of muscular, and his face was a little bit different than normal, a human face. And as it approached me, it was kind of apprehensive, and it was being encouraged by these gray aliens to come toward me. But it was a little apprehensive. And then it kind of like wanted to hug me. So when it got close enough, I noticed that its eyes, there was no white in its eyes. It was all black. There was no white part to its eyes. And it threw me. And that and the fact it was like pumped for like a 6-year-old. I was like, damn, this is a pumped 6-year-old. You've done some reps, bro. And I freaked out. I kind of fought it, and I woke up. Now, what seemed like a 20-minute dream for me, and I woke up and I was in a pool of sweat and my underwear was at my ankles. But I was sweating like I had went swimming, like I was drenched. And I was like, that was not a dream, because it seemed like about 20 minutes, but the next thing I know, it was almost 7 in the morning. So there was a loss of time that I could not count for. So I called my mom because I just moved out of my house, and my mom, working for the National Enquirer for years, has her alien stories down. You know what I mean? So I'm like, Mom, you're going to trip off this. She's like, no, I don't want to hear it. I have something to tell you. I want to tell you about my dream first. And I said, no, I want to tell you about my dream first. Seriously. She's like, no. I said, no. So she said, all right, go. Tell me about your dream first. So I told her, and she goes, okay, Bryan. Last night, you came to me in a dream. You knocked on my front door and you had a baby with you. And the reason why I didn't let the baby in my house was because the baby had all black eyes. And I had just told her the story about this black-eyed baby, and she's like, no, I want to tell you first. So after telling her, she's like, the same dream happened to me. You came to me with this child, and I wouldn't accept it because of its eye color, because of the fact it had totally black eyes. So I was doing a lot of research on alien abduction and hybrid aliens, because I felt like that's what it was. I felt like, honestly, it was a hybrid. It was like half human, half alien. So maybe they're trying to incorporate themselves through us some way to be accepted, or maybe it's a genetic thing where they're still trying to alter their own DNA. I don't know. But I know it seems to be genetically motivated.
Yeah.
My God. And also, this is like so crazy too, but.
And that's just the Greys. I don't talk about the Nordics yet, because the Nordics are doing the same thing. It's like a taller alien, and they wear blonde wigs and white lab coats. And there have been a lot of abductions recently about the Nordics. And then there's the reptilians. Of course, the reptilians, they're energy gatherers. They actually gather energy, and they steal energy. And most aliens are dimensional beings. They can float from the 4th, 5th, 6th dimension down to the 3rd dimension where we are. So a lot of it's technology that gets it in and out of dimensions. But to stay here, they can't handle our atmosphere or our direct sun, so they have to live underground. And that's why they cavernize all these mountains.
I love this so much.
And that's where they're living. And so when we see ships, the ships aren't necessarily coming from outer space. They're just coming from oceans or underground facilities that they have. So, and now that we have obtained enough technology, I think that we also have a space force that has UFOs that are US. So, there's the US angle of aliens, and then there are alien UFOs. So I think those are UFOs you would see. Some of them might be US UFOs, USA.
What are your thoughts on Area 51? Obviously.
Well, I definitely think it happened.
Yeah.
In 1947. I mean, Chandler, this is one of the things I explained when I did Chandler's class at UCLA. He was in a class called Ghost Psychics and Aliens. Mm-hmm. But when I spoke at the class, it was the next year, and he wasn't in it. But I went to UCLA and gave an hour-and-a-half lecture on it.
What? That happened?
Chandler's old teacher. And it was so cool because the whole time people are looking at me like, wait, what? Wait, what? So it was cool to kind of get it out and get it off my chest, because I've done a lot of research on it. And yeah, I think Roswell definitely happened. I think we got technology. There was definitely a cover-up. It definitely triggered a lot of things in society after that, technology-wise, computer-wise.